The streaming community keeps disrespecting Black Americans.
Who are not cultured at all. You're black! You're just black! You're just fully American. You're African American, bro. That's it!
Like, seriously, is y'all cool from letting a meth head white boy clavicular run around spamming the N-word?
Nigga, I mean, like,
To Ray, who has been outwardly racist toward Black people, making monkey noises, calling people the N-word.
you're a monkey.
You're a black monkey.
Being a streamer, this is the hard part, bro. It's so hard to not to say the N-word, bro.
To somebody like Agent, who has been fully accepted in the Black community, making slave jokes to purposely attack a Black person.
If Thomas, the slave master from 1800, named me, would that have been better? Nigga, that's my name, gang. That's always been my name.
And if that wasn't enough, we have people like Kai and Plaqueboymax saying the Black community doesn't have culture, while building their whole entire careers off Black American culture.
Imagine growing up with no culture, gang. Nigga, I grew up with no culture. I didn't know where I was from.
But I'm Jew. Welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it.
Bro, everyone wanna be from somewhere, bro. Everyone wants to be from somewhere, bro. We all want a place to belong. Imagine growing up with no culture, gang. Nigga, I grew up with no culture. I grew up with no culture, bro. I didn't know where I was from.
Plaqueboymax is Black. I assume he's a Black American. He has Black parents. He grew up in a Black household. There's absolutely no excuse for him going on stream in front of thousands of people and saying Black people have no culture and that we don't belong anywhere. Besides him being wrong and sounding like a complete idiot, that should be embarrassing for his parents and his family that raised him. Because I know for me, I grew up in a completely Black household. My grandfather and grandmother raised me. They taught me and my sister about our family history, taught us to be proud and to love being Black and to love Black people. I've never a day in my life felt like I didn't belong somewhere or I wasn't from somewhere. I'm from where my family is from. I said this in the post before. My entire family is from DC, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. Everybody. We can trace our family back generations. So when people ask, where's a Black American from?
Somebody educate me on why there's Black Americans that don't know where they're from, like their ethnicity and stuff. Like growing up Nigerian, having a grandfather in the house that's like straight from Nigeria, clothing, the food, the language, the accent, everything. I've always known.
That's a dumbass question that he answered himself. If his grandfather is Nigerian, that means he has a connection to Nigeria. Even though Black Americans came from Africa on slave ships, we do not have a connection to Africa. We're not immigrants. We have no connection to any other land, even though our ancestors hundreds of years ago were brought here.
Your grandfather's from Nigeria? That is so cool. My paternal grandfather is from Harlem. My maternal grandfather is from Vale, North Carolina. He spent most of his life in Hickory. My maternal grandmother is from Columbia, South Carolina, which is where I was born. My paternal grandmother is from Charleston, South Carolina. Do you know what all four of those places have in common? America. Nobody asks Jamaicans or Haitians to provide a family tree, but whenever the subject comes up for Black Americans, people get so up in arms, like, where are you from? We're from here. August 1619, two ships, the White Lion and the Treasure. The Treasure was the consort ship to the White Lion. They docked in Port Comfort, which is now Hampton, Virginia, with 20 to 60 slaves that they stole from a Portuguese ship in the Gulf of Mexico. August 1619, 407 years, 15 months before the Mayflower, 295 years before your grandfather's country of Nigeria was established. We've been here. What is our ethnicity? Black American, African American. It is a recognized ethnic group in the United States of America. We are the descendants of African slaves brought to the Americas. We are the descendants of the African slaves who survived the transatlantic slave trade. That's who we are.
So for Black Americans, that's where we're from. For a lot of people, that might be one state. Maybe they're from South Carolina, or Louisiana, Texas, Virginia, DC. But our home, our land, our soil is America. So it's crazy irresponsible for a Black person like Max to go on his stream and regurgitate a white supremacist talking point that Black people aren't from anywhere. Or one of the talking points that immigrants use when they're attacking the Black community, that we don't have any culture. And I used this clip before in my video about Black erasure, but it's so on point that I'm gonna share it again.
You have no culture. Black American culture is unique and has developed in America over the last 400 years. So why is this dance considered traditional and cultural for you, but twerking for us couldn't be a part of African American culture. Black spirituality and worship in the Black church has been a central and vital institution in Black American life, acting as a hub for community, social justice, and spiritual support. Black American spirituality, Louisiana voodoo, and hoodoo, which developed from the Middle Passage and thrived during our time here on the plantation, is a direct result of our African origins coupled with our new existence here in America. Soul food, which can be traced back to the culinary practices of enslaved Africans in the American South, blending African traditions with European techniques, inspiration from the natives, and ingredients and cooking methods available during slavery. It's unique to Black American. Our value systems are family and community. We have collectivistic values, placing a strong emphasis on family closeness, community bonding, and solidarity is a core value.
This is literally why the term inviting somebody to the cookout matters, because cookouts, social gatherings, familial events are our culture. So when people that are not from the culture, that don't have the same love, admiration, or respect for Black people, Black Americans, come in, it becomes a problem, which is why a lot of Black Americans are talking about the need to gatekeep our culture more. So somebody can't come in, blow up off our culture, and then disrespect us as a people as if they didn't benefit from us. And this is not an attack to any other Black person from around the world, any other culture, but it is not an overstatement to say Black Americans are the culture. You can pick any country on this globe and there's gonna be people that talk like us, that dress like us, that get haircuts like us, that try to imitate everything about Black Americans. That is our culture. Our music is our culture, which is why Max sounds extra dumb saying that. When he has a Black American haircut, he's using Black American vernacular, whether you call it a Ebonics or AAVE. He has tattoos that have always been a thing. They were highly popularized in today's culture by rappers like Lil Wayne or Wiz Khalifa with full body tattoos. Let's be real about that. This man Plaqueboymax carved out a whole lane in the streaming community to do rap music. Rap music is Black culture, and it's descended down from R&B, from blues, from jazz. That is Black culture. I don't know which struggles he went through growing up where he can't identify his Blackness or be content with it, but that was a super ignorant statement to say on stream in front of other people that are gonna take that sentiment and run with it. With the whole entire globe copies our culture, steals our culture, and monetizes it as something other than Black American culture. And as if that statement wasn't bad enough, dumb enough, embarrassing enough, he then goes on stream with a Chinese drill rapper who purposely looks and dresses like a Black American, who is making distinctly Black American music, literally cosplaying as a Black person, embodying our whole culture. And he's giving that a platform while in the same breath saying Black Americans don't have culture. Make that make sense.
But what city do you want to go to in America?
Chicago.
Oh yeah, see, I'm trying to. I'm about to get slammed out today. I'm trying to tell y'all. Okay, wait. So look, how did you learn how to rap like that? Like you really nice. Like you feel me? You got.
He's giving her all this credit when the whole aesthetic that they are is Black American. Crazy.
然后我有一天梦见 King Von 了。She said when she just started, she had a dream about King Von. Yeah.
You had
Israeli.
You had a dream about King Von.
Yeah.
And
然后他
It's a clown, man. Everybody in that room looks like a different version of a Black American. You can't make this up.
Art, which is the most exported and consumed and marketed part of our culture.
Plaqueboymax is in China streaming with a Chinese rapper that makes drill music.
From the Harlem Renaissance to today, Black Americans have made immense contributions to the arts, visual art, our dances, our music, which have been consumed globally for the last century.
Someone get this deadbeat Uncle Ruckus out of here, bruh. Fact. Plaqueboymax is a literal loser and gives anybody a platform, even if they're minstrel. Dumb, short, uggo bitch. Dumb, short, uggo bitch is crazy. Same nigga who claims we have no culture will platform any non-Black that's doing something adjacent with Black culture. Niggas so warped. And there was a whole bunch of gaslighting going on the comments in X about Black people need to stop crying, we're complaining, we didn't invent everything. Guess what, bitch? We invented Black culture that the whole world is leeching off of. I'm tired of having this argument and trying to justify who we are as a people when Black Americans are facing constant erasure. And this is what I mean by that. We have the federal government trying to erase us. We We have white America trying to erase us. We have immigrant groups that come into this country that get credit for the things that we built or at least contributed to without giving us any credit or acknowledgement. That is black erasure.
New York will remain a city of immigrants, a city built by immigrants, powered by immigrants, and as of tonight, led by an immigrant.
Last time I checked, one of the first groups to actually start building New York City was Black Americans, free and enslaved. Some of the early communities built in New York was built by Black Americans. Or how about the simple fact that Black Americans was out there building New York City before they could actually freely own any land out there in New York City.
And even Mom Donnie had to admit it.
Sometimes we hear people say this is a city built by immigrants, but how do we also include enslaved people and indigenous people who have built the foundation of America in New York City as well?
So I have to admit, I've been guilty of this myself.
I didn't want to say
it's true. I did say that myself. A city built by immigrants. And I think the first thing is, if we're being honest, then we have to tell the full story, right? And when we tell a sweeping generalization like that, we lose sight of the fact that Black New Yorkers helped to build New York City.
I felt some type of way.
Understandable. Understandable. That's why I'm here to apologize, because you learn from it. And I think that as much as we want to, and we should, support immigrant New Yorkers and their incredible place in the city, doing so doesn't necessitate that we overlook the contributions of Black New Yorkers. We can tell that full story.
Saying Black Americans have no culture is so incorrect. I don't know why people are always trying to downplay what they have. It's so weird. Now, if we're talking about white Americans, don't let anybody ever gaslight you into thinking that you're wrong or you're too sensitive when you defend Black people and Black culture, because that's how we maintain our culture and who we are. And when I say this is an overall streaming issue of constant disrespect toward Black Americans, that's exactly what I mean. Because Plaqueboymax isn't the only one. Kai, who is one of the biggest streamers in the whole world, who built his whole career off of Black culture, Black aesthetics, Black vernacular, then goes on stream and tries to talk down to Black people, saying, we have no culture, we have nothing, we're just Black. As if there's something wrong with that. I'm super proud to be a Black American. I'm super proud of my grandparents, their parents, and every other Black person that persevered from slavery to Reconstruction to Jim Crow to building a life for themselves and their family to where we are today. Because we fought for every single bit of progress that we got in this country. And even right now, we're still fighting to not be erased from the things that we did contribute to this country.
All my mods who are not cultured at all, stop dick riding. I don't want to hear, like, when I'm asking general questions, I'm not asking y'all niggas. Stop dick riding. Y'all niggas is Black. You're Black! You're just Black!
Just be yourself and hit them with hey. Also, I just bowed the Anarchy hoodie yesterday. Can't wait. Finna resubscribe. And a little W female viewer. Big 2 months December 9th.
Thank you so much!
The language that everybody uses in this country is Black American vernacular that we created from scratch and we continue to evolve. Any slang you hear, the slang they're trying to say is TikTok speak now or Gen Z speak, whatever they say. So even the language that Kai is using to diss Black Americans is Black American language.
You're just fully American. You're African American, bro. That's it. How was that see you in 30? That wasn't an insult.
That was 100% an insult and intended to be one.
That was strictly, you're Black. You're not Trinidadian. You're not Jamaican. You're not African. You're not.
I have to keep constantly saying this. No disrespect to any of those countries, cultures, or people. I love Black people from everywhere. But you don't see Black Americans leaving America to go to these other countries to absorb or adopt their culture, dress style, language, anything. We are Black Americans in America, and other cultures come here and absorb our culture, then kind of claim it as their own and act like we didn't create or invent anything.
You're not Ghanaian.
Who says we have to be anything other than what we are, which is Black and proud?
You're not Dominican. You're not Puerto Rican. You're not Cuban.
Black people, we have to stand for something or we fall for anything. We literally have to stand on business with defending our culture and who we are. We don't have to be disrespectful toward anybody else. We don't have to crash out. We don't have to trade insult for insult. We can defend exactly who we are and hold the line respectfully without giving support to people that don't respect us. And I don't know if this is an AMP thing or just an all-around streaming disrespect for Black Americans, but even Agent, who I like, who's an Ethiopian from Canada, I believe, literally disrespected Black people on stream by making slave jokes. Isn't it interesting when it's time to insult Black Americans, immigrants like Agent can make an exact reference to slavery and then follow up by spamming the N-word. But I guess he gets a pass because he's from Africa and we all Black, even though he just proved we ain't the same. I think that tweet is very interesting because people get mad at Black people for defending Black Americans when we're being attacked, but don't have any of that energy for the Black people from other countries that are attacking Black Americans. We're not wrong for defending ourselves. We're not wrong for pointing out our contributions to this country. country because Asian is another one that talks black, looks black, acts black, dresses black, but then just like Kai can easily turn around and be like, oh, I'm not black. Like it's a bad thing. And you know the quote, they love everything that we create, but they don't like us. And that's what this feels like for real for Black Americans.
What kind of name is that? Bro, are you mad the slave masters didn't name me, bro? Huh? It's a cultural name, asshole.
So he gets mad because somebody in his chat asked, what type of name is that? And automatically gets racist toward black people. You can't defend your name or explain your name without being racist against black people.
If Thomas, the slave master from 1800 named me, would that have been better? Come on, bro. I don't think niggas gotta switch up their names just because you don't want to nigga, that's my name, gang. That's always been my name, asshole. You know that. My name's not even a fucking secret. Y'all literally call me Din Din, dickhead.
I've addressed black erasure and this whole notion that black Americans don't have culture. I'm gonna keep addressing it because people keep trying to play in our face. The lifeblood, energy, creativity of black Americans is embedded in this country's fabric, whether people like to admit it or not.
The Harlem Renaissance wasn't just about jazz and poetry. It was about survival, identity, and health. In the early 1900s, thousands of black families fled the South. They were escaping Jim Crow, racial terror, and poverty. Here on the streets of Upper Manhattan, they built something extraordinary, the Harlem Renaissance. Harlem became the beating heart of Black America. Art, music, politics, literature, and culture all converging in one place. Langston Hughes turned jazz into poetry. Nora Neale Hurston collected stories that preserve the wisdom of black folk culture.
And that type of disrespect toward black Americans is really weird, especially when you have somebody like Duke Dennis, who has been very loud and proud about his blackness and representing black American culture. He literally has people in his own group like Agent and Kai who disrespect black American culture, which basically shows a level of disrespect toward him, who's supposed to be their friend.
Anybody that say black Americans don't got no culture, you are 100% absolutely wrong. Listen, every single race took something from the black American culture. Everybody loves black American culture, yet nobody want to give us credit when credit is due. You know what I'm saying? They be trying to act like we ain't got no culture. Whole time, we one of the most influential people ever, bro. Black people, and I'm really talking about black Americans, are some of the most influential. I'm talking about from music, fashion, food, hairstyle, man, everything, bro. Everybody be goddamn talking about black Americans don't got no culture. Bitch, come on now. Come on, man. Even goddamn motherfuckers over there in China, Japan, they be trying to goddamn imitate what we do over here. I seen a Chinese nigga. Man, come on, man. Man, everybody be copying shit we do, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, if you really pay attention to a nigga, the whole world be copying black American culture, bro. I promise you, everybody wanna be a nigga, but nobody wanna be a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanna, you know what I'm saying, act like us, talk like us, you know what I'm saying, make music like us, wear what we wear. But when it comes to actually accepting the title of being a black person, everybody always say some crazy shit like, nah, I ain't black.
Anything but black while looking like a black person.
My family is from this place, that place. Hey, do your research, bro. Start really paying attention, bro. Start really paying attention to what the fuck going on, bro. Everybody want to be a nigga, but nobody want to be a nigga, bro. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, I'm trying to tell you.
And then when you have people that are supposed to be black that don't even respect themselves, that's how you get other streamers like Jason the Ween tweeting blackface and acting like it's funny. Why are we always the butt of the joke for people? And then when we call it out, we're told we're being too sensitive or that it's not that deep. It is that deep. And don't let anybody gaslight you into thinking you're sensitive or wrong or overreacting to defending black people and black culture. Like I said earlier, I was born and raised in a black household by a black family that taught me to love, respect, honor, and appreciate my blackness. And I'm proud of my people, where they come from and what they've accomplished to get me here today, because I know I'm standing on the shoulders of people that went through way more than me just to be the color of their skin. I'm on the verge of losing my grandfather, who taught me everything there is to be a man and a black man in America. How to carry myself in public, how to talk, how to act, how to look people in the eye when I talk to them, how to handle myself and represent myself when I get pulled over by police, everything. Because he wanted me to achieve all the stuff that he couldn't achieve. He wanted me to go further. He wanted my kids to go further. And I represent him and all of my ancestors when I talk about black people on this platform. So I don't play about it at all. But shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for supporting. And thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes and life stuff. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.